How you doing, Dave? You right?
Yeah, I'm all right. How are you doing, Karamet?
Just about getting over the weekend. A bit of a come down after Crufts, isn't it? How are you doing? Are you recovered yet? Are you decompressing?
Yeah, I was a little bit ill, had a little bit of a sniffles after Crufts. It's always, the Crufts allergy, and I'm catch everything. I've got, as Sean will tell everyone, I've got an awful immune system. She tells me every single time I get ill, you've got an awful immune system. I was like, I know.
I didn't realize that the Crufts illness was an actual thing. I feel I don't want to jinx myself. Touch wood. I think I've got away from it. But so many people come down with something after Crufts, don't they? It's because of all of the dirty people walking around there.
I'm so social, and I talk to everyone. You're an antisocial bastard. That's what it is.
You go around
Obviously,
touching people. That's why. That's your problem.
touching everyone. So I love to do that.
It's all you huggers. That's the problem. The people who love a hug.
Oh, God, don't. I'm not much of a hugger. Your wife continually tries to hug me these days.
She forces her love on people. That's how she got with me.
She does. Maybe she gave me it, hugging me all the time.
No, in all fairness, she's not ill either. We've both managed to avoid it this time, so that's a win.
It's at least someone we want.
Yeah.
We want something.
Yeah, for definite. You're saying it like that though, but you had a pretty good let's call it a weekend because it was a few days of competition.
It was good. Brucey did good. Brucey won the singles. And just an annoying weekend with Susan because she was so good. She came second in the singles to Dalton, so but only 0.1 off him. So I was super happy with that because that dog's incredible. And then lots of fastest times. Fastest time with Boosty in the champ and with Susan in the champ, but mistake. So obviously I might not have had the fastest time if I hadn't had those faults, but very close. It would have been super close.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, it is one of those things that, it is all ifs and buts, but it's always nice to know that the speed is there and the potential is there, isn't it?
And I just really wanted to beat Martin, especially with Boost. And I saw that dog walk exit and I thought, oh, he can't do that one. I should have squawked target and tried to make him scuttle through because I should have known he couldn't do that as a run. And yeah, he might then not have beaten Selfie, but it would have been really, really close. But never mind, bless Martin. He doesn't always win. He's quite often second, so it's nice for him. I let him have it.
And to be fair to him as well, the thing that I thought was pretty low, cheap tactics was the fact that he was trying to play on the public perception of him by doing his eco warrior thing. Did you see that plastic recycling thing he had on his trousers?
He was trying to get all the loves, wasn't he?
That was absolutely downright low, dirty tactics from him. That was looking for like public love just by saying that he wanted to say. What was he doing? Saving plastic or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's recycled trousers. Gross. I mean, God knows what they were made out of. But yeah, save the planet trousers.
Save the planet trousers. Yeah, Captain Planet we're calling him from now on, I think.
He's got many names.
Yeah, he did have a good weekend though, to be fair. I mean, Shape had the champ, and what did Selfie won? Something as well.
He had the champ as well. But he won champ in small and in large.
The champ of the weekend.
People have done. I've obviously done it.
Yeah. Make sure to get that in there.
All those years ago. Not a has-been. He won this chat. Even he did brilliant. Selfie's a brilliant dog. She's going to win so much in small, and Shape at last showed that she can really pull it out the bag. And Nara got second to him by 0.002 or something ridiculous. So it was nice for those two to come first and second. Me and Dan have done it before, and it's a nice thing to do. It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, both, on that particular course as well, it was very, very little in it, and it could have gone either way when it's that much on the time. What was it, 001? They were that close.
002 or something. It was something really close. And it was so funny because Nara did just lose it a little bit at the end. I don't know. It could have gone either way with those two. They're very similar dogs. And
they did that overlay where they do both of the runs, and that was really cool because you could see where one made time and then the other caught up, and then it was just like so.
It was super interesting, and someone did for me a thing with Dalton and Susan. It was really interesting, and Dalton made all his time up on the contacts. Susan was pretty much the same. Weaves on the ground, the turns maybe not quite as tight as Clippy, but his contacts, his dog walk and his A-frame were like they were level beggins at the end. And Clippy just had a faster A-frame, and then Susan nearly caught up on the last line, so she put less strides in on the last line because it was an open, Clippy's little
Yeah.
striding, but that's why she turned so well. But yeah, the contact, he got ahead of me on the dog walk by quite a lot, and I never really managed to catch that time up.
Yeah, it was an interesting one for me. Obviously, my first time competing at Crufts, you never really know what it's going to be like.
In the
But
international, you enjoy it? Did you enjoy the international?
yeah, I did. It was it's a strange one, isn't it? Because we were joking about it. Because they kind of tout the international as being like the main prestige event.
Yeah, they
But
do.
obviously for me, it's way harder to qualify for the champ class on the on the Thursday than it is for the international. That's just because of where I'm from. Just less
Real.
competition, obviously. Wales, really good atmosphere. I was quite surprised for someone like I've been to Crafts and I've watched and been backstage and all that kind of stuff. But from a competing point of view, the crowd are quite far back.
Mm.
I
Did
like
you
I
not
don't
think
know
that?
why, but like you get the impression, and like even when I've been there and watched it, I didn't really understand, like didn't really take it into account that like you've got the main arena, but then there's a bit of space before the crowd
Mm.
seating starts, and they step quite far back, so you don't get that they're on top of you almost. I
Uh,
almost felt like
yeah,
they, yeah, like I didn't
uh,
get the nerves or
over the
anything.
edge. Olympia, they're kind of leaning over the edge. They're really close, but Crofts, yeah, you kind of just don't even notice they're there, to be honest, apart from a little bit of noise. But yeah, they're not right in your face. Definitely, there's all those little areas around the edges.
Yeah. The should we talk about the courses?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it.
What did you think then? So let's start with the champ classes on the Friday that we had.
Gary's courses, yeah. I mean, the problem with Crufts is it is a spectator event, and there's not a lot of people in the classes, so they have to be relatively easy courses. They can't be crazy hard because there's got to be a winner. They don't want not a winner. It makes it boring for everyone watching. So they do need clear rounds. So that's why the courses are easier. Um, Gary's courses, they were nice. I liked them. They were perfect, I think, set up for Cross, especially on large day. I didn't like his courses as much on small day, but it's not like I didn't like them. I just preferred his champ day courses. They were quite fun. They were quite spread out, which was nice. Um, Dog walks, he wanted to put a turn on that dog walk, though. Oh, that stressed me out. But I didn't like that. I hate dog walk turns, even though she managed it just. I freaking handled it. But yeah, I think the champ courses on the large day in particular were a good level from Gary.
Yeah,
Did
I
you?
think I like I said, because there was the post that his I'm assuming is his wife Helen made saying that he was asked to change them. So I mean, it's hard to know
Well,
whether what they were like in the first place, isn't it? You know whether
yeah. I heard two stories about that as well. So because someone from the Kennel Club was saying he didn't get told that. So I don't know what's right or wrong. I didn't talk to him about it. All I know is his courses I think were a good level. They had enough skills in them, but they had to be. I think probably wanted to make them a little bit harder than they were, but they can't at Crufts especially. Just you can't really.
yeah, I mean, from my point of view, they were, and this is not this is no comment on him doing his courses. It's just a personal thing. Is they were just too for me to have done well with Cop. Like we made the final, so I was really pleased with that. But they were too straightforward for us.
Oh,
Like I said, I had no problem with them. The lines were safe. Um,
yeah,
they were they were fun to run in the sense that they were fast. But it was just
yeah,
for me, there wasn't enough in them to make it
no,
so we had a good
yeah,
chance, and that's all I took away from it. Really, we did what we could, pushed really hard in the final, but because we pushed really hard in the final, we made little mistakes. But
yeah,
Susan was good on them. She was looking really fast as well,
yeah.
wasn't she?
She was probably the fastest she's ever felt. Just, I don't know, she loved it. She just felt like Fame used to feel that. Shane always used to feel amazing at Crufts too. Yeah, she was pushy. I loved running her. She was really vulnerable. And she's been speeding up lately, but yeah, she felt really excellent. Easy to run, to be honest. She just kind of did it and didn't have a pole there. Just pick her feet up. It was
Yeah.
not a tryout.
Did well, you were like not talking about potential. Well, you were kind of talking about potentially retiring Boost, but I mean, I don't see the need. I said this to you
Oh,
beforehand. Now
no.
after Crufts, I think definitely not.
No, he's still look. I'll just keep going because, to be honest, as soon as he retires, he'll be a horrible dog to live with, like even more horrible. So I think it's just got to keep him going as long as I can. But I work. He gets treated every month. He gets a lot of fitness stuff. As in just walks and just doesn't get overtrained these days because he doesn't really need it. He kind of does. I'm not going to change anything he does nowadays. It's just to keep him fit. So Yeah, I think I just keep going, see what happens. Try maybe. I'm really hoping for Olympia at the end of the year. I'd love to get one more Olympian with him because that is his favourite event. And maybe cross next year. I don't know. He'll be literally a week or two off 11. So let's
I
just see.
do like I totally understand where you're coming from in the sense that you're just trying to protect his career after it's not his career, his life after his career.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, it's not like he's running and you think, oh, he's an old dog. He's keeping up with the
No.
fastest smalls in the
Oh my
country.
God.
So, I mean, there's no
Yeah.
need to even consider it at the moment. You know what's
No.
best for him. And I'm sure, like, when you see it, you'll know. But at this point, he's doing really
Basically,
well, isn't he?
when Martin starts beating me all the time, that's it. When he can beat him all the time and I'm not winning anymore, that's it. He's told me he's had enough. No, until he looks like old dogs tend to, what I tend to feel happens with them is like halfway through the course, you just feel like they get a bit more tired. They're just not giving it all the
Yeah.
whole way through the course and they just lose that bit of fitness they had when they were younger. So I'll wait for that and see how that goes. But it's more in this country. He's still the top of his game. He's such a cool little dog. It's his brain. His brain just pushes him through everything.
Yeah,
He's
he is.
so
He's got the
mental.
right attitude, doesn't he? He doesn't give up.
Oh, God. Angry little rat squirrel.
Well, like I said, it was my first Crufts experience, so I'm sure it's something that I will remember. Hopefully, in many years' time when I keep coming back. But do you remember your first Crufts? Do you remember what it was like, and how has it changed?
I
'Cause I
my
bet it's changed.
my first class was with Billy. God, don't even ask me what year, but it wasn't in that main arena. Wasn't there? It was on the thinnest carpet on concrete. It was awful. I mean, dogs used to slip so badly, and I mean just literally the thinnest carpet just on flat concrete, and it was just awful. And I remember him slipping and whacking himself, jumping 2'6". It was just horrible. And when they first changed to Astro, we were like, "Oh, that's weird." Like, there wasn't really an Astro, wasn't a thing back then. And then we were like, "Oh my God, that's better," because they just realized that dogs don't slip on it the same. So, and I think when they changed to Astro, all the showing people complained to start with. They're like, "Oh, our dogs don't move the same." But for anything sporty, obviously, it's just so much better. So yeah, it has changed so much over the years. I've been with 5, 6 dogs now, and I can't even remember how many years I've been. I'm not like Greg. Greg remembers every year he's been through everything. God knows how he does it. I don't remember unless I win something. And then I'll remember. But yeah, it's changed so much. They are so much more for the safety now. I think it can be better looking at their tunnels and stuff. Their tunnels are not sandbagged enough still. The carpet came up when you were running. You got a nice picture of the carpet coming up when you doing a turn.
Yeah, like I was saying, it was lucky. I finished the run and I knew I slipped.
Yeah,
I didn't realize what had happened because in the moment you just
yeah,
try and keep up and keep going. But I was like, that would have been the worst advert for my business in the world if I
it
was
would have
in
been.
a
I've
Crufts
never
run and
seen
I
the
fell
carpet.
flat on my face because no one would have seen that the carpet had slipped up, would they? They'd have
Wow.
just seen me on the floor rolling around.
Yeah, and me laughing in the background. Yeah, I've never seen that happen before, so that was annoying. But on the whole, the equipment's apart from the tunnels and maybe the carpet, sometimes the equipment's all right. The courses I think they were all safe. I didn't like the singles courses, very old fashioned, very just 100 years ago, but I kind of expected that from that judge. It's kind of what his style is. So yeah, they were just I mean, there was only 8 dogs in it in the large, 9 dogs, so they couldn't be hard. And there's
Yeah.
not enough dogs. It's ridiculous to make a final out of 9 dogs, especially when that's not the final. You then got to get 4 dogs into the final. It's just getting a bit silly, really. They need to put more dogs in if they could. But yeah, I didn't particularly like those courses. I think they were just very old-fashioned, quite boring. I think Nick Jones did a great job, actually. Her courses were
I was going to
really
say that because
definitely
my favorite
best.
course of the weekend, I only had one of Nick's courses and it was my favorite one of the weekend. It was the
Yeah,
international on the Saturday. I did
yeah,
her agility run and that was really nice.
yeah. I was really excited to run those ones. They were fun. They had a bit more in them, a bit more, modern style to them, as much as they could be without, without being too hard. I think Nick did a really good job with her judging. I think Gary did a great job with his judging. And I think they all did a good job with their judging. I just think the courses were very mixed with the three.
It's hard as well, isn't it? Because it's all down to personal preference at the end of the day,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
like I said, we're all allowed to think what we want because that's
Yeah.
just our opinion. The one thing that I will say was good was the fact that there wasn't anything that was really unsafe
There's
from a
been horrific. before.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I mean, we can't complain about it in that sense.
It is my personal preference. I don't like those old-fashioned courses. So other people might have loved those. Oh, I didn't hear anyone say it, but other people might have loved those, the singles courses. I wasn't a fan, but I did like Nick's. And I liked Gary's. I think he would have maybe done it a bit different if he could. But they weren't bad courses, and like you say, none of them were unsafe. They all had nice approaches to contacts. They were all safe and nice and good, quite relatively good distances from most of the courses.
Yeah,
But
for the large part.
yeah, and some I prefer just more than others. That was all.
One thing that I didn't perhaps take consideration into that I found particularly hard was the waiting round between the events, you know?
Oh yeah, God, it just goes on. That was actually this year was one of the best. Some years we've had hours and hours. Like usually we have time to go shopping and go to that thingy centre in the middle of the place and go and get lunch. And we didn't really have time for any of that this year. So actually they've changed it. So we started, I don't know, it was just different this year, their timings. But yeah, it is a lot of waiting around all day and in and out, up and down to the car park. You know, we don't leave our dogs on the benches all day.
No, same.
We want to take them back to the car so they have a proper time to chill out and sleep. And you know, when they're in there, they might rest, but they're not relaxing. They're you're back to the car, they're relaxed. It was pretty hideous with the snow, wasn't it? Trudging up and down through all that snow. Oh my God, like a blizzard. My feet were drenched, my hoodie was drenched. I was in the right mood about it. But you know, it's not like me to get in a mood about something, I know. But
wet feet.
That snow was really getting on. I had to go and buy some new socks from the Nike store.
Any excuse, though, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I did. I've got some new trousers too.
We had the one thing that like I said, with Cop, I knew there was waiting round, but obviously because, like you, we wanted to take him back to the van to try to let him actually kind of properly recover. Because as you say, they're fine. They're used to waiting in their crate, but when there's a lot of stuff happening, they never really relax, do they? But I was getting so stressed out about walking in through the crowds all the time because people were like trying to reach down and stroke him. And like, I was just like, I need to get back to the van and just stop trying to touch my dog.
Get off. Don't touch. I don't mind them touching stuff. Obviously, Susan don't want to be touched.
Well, that's my point. Is like Cop is, you know what he's like. It's not that he doesn't like people, but when random person from the crowd who he doesn't know comes down and tries to pat him on the head, he's like, what are they doing? And it was just happening so much.
I think you were probably walking the same as you drive, really fucking slow. And people were having chance to touch him. So I think I'm storming through so fast. No one even gets a chance to touch
I need to have one of those collars that they put on the dog. I need space so that they can just leave me alone and just let me get back to the van. And Dave, I'm a safe driver, not a slow driver.
But I'm Welsh. On your top, that'll scare me. I won't understand you. No, there's safe, and there's never getting somewhere. That I've never.
Did you ever think you were going to get in a crash when you were in the car with me?
Well, no, yeah, maybe because someone might go up your ass because you're going too slow.
But you like that anyway.
No.
I was trying to improve your driving experience. Exactly. That's it.
That's what you were doing. Trying to give me a good time.
Yeah, exactly. That's it, right? Because you have done, how many crufts do you think you've done now? Do you have any idea?
No, take me too long to count. Lots.
I've already got so many fingers.
Yeah, fingers and toes. I've been to the World Champs as in an international event 20 times. So this will be this will be my 20th time. So I reckon crufts must be at least that, if not more. So I reckon over 20 times because I think I've been there. I think I've been there pretty much every year. It's been on since I started competing, since I started doing well competing even. So I reckon like over 20 to 25 times maybe.
That's cool. Is there like one moment that like stands out for you? You know, I've got one that I enjoyed, but obviously I haven't been in it as long as you. What is the one moment there that is like the one thing that you feel is tops it all?
I think when Fame won. So two things actually. I've got two. So Dobby winning the international one year because the world champ came over, and at the time Marcus tops and Dobby beat him. He was second, and he literally just won the world champs like a few months before. So I was super excited that Dobby could beat the world champion because that dog was really awesome and Marcus was a great handler. So that made me super excited. And also Fame winning when she won single because she just won Olympia, then she went and won singles and she went and won champ as well. So that year was just amazing because she just won everything. It was super exciting. She just was incredible. So those two those two were probably my favourite top two.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get much better than that one that year that Fame did all that.
Oh, she was just on. She was just on it that year. She was so amazing. Then the next year she went and won a medal. Just so yeah, and you know that's when she was like 6, 7, 8, 6, 7. I always say my dogs peak around that time.
Yeah.
Always. They just don't. You know they do well younger, but they always get really good around 5, 6, 7.
It's like they've got the energy of the youth, but the experience as
Yeah,
well of having a few
exactly.
years running those types of courses, isn't it?
Yeah, and just that partnership, definitely. Yes, I'm not there with Susan yet. She's amazing, but we're not got quite the partnership that we're going to have. And you know, she's only 3, so we've not got the partnership we're going to have in another couple of years.
Yeah, I feel the same with Cop. I feel like we're still
Yeah,
improving. So,
all the time.
one thing as well that I've had experience of it doing WAOs and that kind of stuff. But the course walking for Crufts, you kind of get like a limited time, and it's never a set time. I felt that some runs I had plenty of time to course walk and strategize, but then some runs I was really rushed, and I'm not someone that needs a long time to walk a course. I'm usually pretty good. So how do you approach the course walking? Do you approach it differently to like a champ course? Do you do different strategies, or is it just the same every time for you?
I think I do it pretty much the same. I've got my way of walking a course, so I like to start at 1, work my way through. Some people just jump in the middle because they don't like the rush, everyone rushing to get to the first jump. So I like to start at 1, just work our way through, figure out where the course goes. Obviously, we get course maps before, but this year the course maps really were nothing like the courses for a lot of them. So it kind of showed it where it went, but the jumps were not the same place. The distances were completely different. You had to completely change your handling to how you decided you were going to handle it off the course plan. So we do get they help a little bit, but not a lot. And then I just walk from 1 all the way through and try and figure out the best handling options.
Do you do any like strategies thinking I'll run it safer in a qualifying one, or do you just do it the same all the
Yeah,
time?
I think I did for obviously on champ day when you want to get in the final, we had to have no ease. On singles day is a bit different because if you win the class, you get straight through.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. But for champ day, yeah, definitely the qualifying courses, we just all wanted to not get an E just so we could get into the final.
Yeah, I think it's not overlooked, but misunderstood by a lot of people in I don't want to say in craft in agility in general, but a lot of the time I will go into something, and if it's a qualifier, my thing is I want to get to the final. I don't particularly care if I win the qual. Obviously, if you win a qualifier and that gets you to a final, then that's different. But I'm talking about generally. I just find it's a lot of people have the opinion of they want to win every single round, and I'm not like that. I'm more I want to get to the final and then I'll try and win. I think that can get overlooked sometimes. Is that no one will ever remember who won the jumping round. Do you know what I mean? It's really nice. Obviously, it's really good if you can. I'm not trying to take that away, but like I'm just saying, that's how I look at it with regards to strategy. I'm always like, let's go for the final, and then we'll go flat out kind of thing.
Well, some people that haven't won the finals like to advertise themselves as winning certain rounds in certain large finals at Crufts and stuff. I think, like you say, no one really remembers that. Like, it's nice to do it. Of course, we all want to win every class, and you know, if we could do it with that win, still qualify. But on the whole, it is the final that matters because that's what people are going to remember. That's the thing we're all trying to do is win the final, and you've got to be in it to win it.
Yeah, that's the important bit, isn't it? And I think one thing as well, perhaps not even overlooked anymore, but like the mental aspect and how important it is to be emotionally and mentally prepared for it, the pressure and the environment and that. Do you agree that is important, or you not? Like I said, I know you've said before that you don't really get too nervous, but I feel like there were plenty of people who were, and it affected them.
I think it is super important to understand, like we've talked about before, being able to deal with that pressure and just go out and just pull out those clear rounds. Just go right, just got to go clear in this one. Stop thinking about, am I going to get to the final? Am I not? Just think about that one course, get round this course, do my best, and just like I always say, competing against that course, not against everything else.
Yeah, focus on the process, not the outcome. A lot of people want to be thinking, oh, I want to win, but then they don't realize that there's like 3 runs before that, and you have to concentrate on those before you get to the point of being able to win anyway.
Exactly. Don't even think about the final till you got in it.
What do you think sets apart the handlers and the partnerships then who get get to Crufts, but obviously who are successful at Crufts as well? Is there something that sets them apart, do you think?
I don't know. I always wonder what makes a handler a good, because some people can be really inexperienced but still get, to the top, and some people just get it, and some people just struggle a bit more. And I don't know what that formula is. It's like when I first ever trained Dan all those years ago in agility. He was he just got it. Like, some people just see lines and can pull themselves together when they need to and just pull it out the bag. And other people really struggle with that. And I just think it's different personalities, and maybe different experiences in life. And I don't know what the formula is. Like, because all my friends seem to be able to do well at big events, and I know we're friends because we've all been in the same. We've all been in the same circles, we've all been in the same finals, we've all been in the same big events. I suppose that's how we got to know each other. But we also all think very much the same. We've all got the same morals in life, and how we treat dogs and look after dogs. We're all very similar people, my group of friends, in that respect. But I don't know what makes us, be able to put it together in the big finals. Just, I don't know, maybe it's just because we hang around each other a lot and talk about it a lot together. I really don't know. Wish there was an answer.
Yeah, because it's quite interesting that you said about Dan was quite natural on it, and I've always wondered how much like a sporting background goes into it. But like, you said, I think Dan said to me before that he didn't really have a sporting background as such. I think he played rugby a few times.
He was not as very sporty. He's not very sporty. He likes to think he is sometimes, but no, he's not the sportiest person in the world.
He's challenged me to tennis a few times. I said,
He challenged me to tennis once and I kicked his ass. So don't expect a fight, because I'm not very good at tennis either.
I reckon I beat him with a frying pan.
Probably. Round the head. That's what I often do.
So leading up, like I said, it's no small achievement, I think, to get into Crufts, just because of the sheer commitment that you have to get to the events to qualify you in the first place. I don't know if you see it in the same way. I know you've done it a lot of times, so maybe it feels a little bit less of an achievement to you. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't think getting there is the hard bit, to be honest. Once you're there, doing well isn't as hard because there's just so many less people. Yeah. So it's not like it's easy to do well, but you know what I'm saying? It's like so many less people that can beat you because the classes are so small. So getting there is the hard bit, and I always enjoy qualifying for it. Stressful qualifying for it, but when you're there, I don't find it overly. It's exciting. I don't find it overly stressful when I'm there, just because the classes are small, and again, the courses are relatively easy. You just got to get round the courses and just go for your clears, and then hope for the best. If you've got a fast dog, you might win. If you haven't, you might not.
If you haven't, enjoy the experience.
Exactly, and it is enjoyable. Like, I love going, and I'm, even if I wasn't, I didn't know if Susan could win this year or not, but I was excited to go and just do it. It's a fun place to be.
Yeah, I mean, the thing for anyone who has got the ultimate goal of going, once you get there, you're only going to get better at getting there in the first place anyway, aren't you?
Hopefully.
Yes. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. But if your dog is qualified to Crufts, it's very rarely that you get there by luck. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's hard to qualify singles. We chase those singles points all around the country all year, which is why I think it makes it a bit silly that there's only 4 in the final at the very end of it, because you could have 4 E's, for goodness sakes. It's ridiculous. So getting the singles points is hard. So many good dogs in the country, and it's really not easy to get a top 10 place in those singles, every singles class, enough singles classes to get enough points. And obviously winning a ticket is very hard. It doesn't happen for everyone. So to actually qualify for Crufts is a hard thing to do.
Yeah, I always, for me, I'll not ever be, I wouldn't say not ever be able to, but you guys who qualified for the singles, I got to take my hat off to you, because the commitment that you made, because of just the sheer and the distances you have to travel to get to the singles qualifiers, because like you said, there's only 8 spaces, so you can't really even afford to miss one of the qualifiers, because it would almost put you out of the running,
it really does. And it's I got lucky, so I got that win right at the last minute at Tunbridge Wells in winter. That qualified me for the singles final. So I waited till December this last year to actually qualify. So obviously not on purpose. I was trying before, kept messing up. But it is really hard. And Martin and Nara didn't have sandwich battles because they were away and they were really panicking. I think I pushed Snooze out because I won that, and who had been, obviously he might have got points and he'd have got in and pushed me out. So just missing that one class does, you know, have a massive effect. It is a big commitment, and then when you get to the shows, you don't always get the best judges, the best courses. You think, oh, come all this way, and the course is just not even safe. It's hard, you know. Agility in the UK is hard at the moment because we're all so up on our course design or talking about it a lot, and we want these best courses for our dogs. We want them to be safe, we want them to be fun. Like you say, every course is different. Everyone's going to have a different perspective on what is fun. But you know, we personally, the ones that are actually getting to these events, are training for more international style courses, and we're just not seeing it as much as we want, and it is quite frustrating.
It is, but the thing that I will say as well, because like I'm in the same boat, I don't particularly train on the courses that we would see at Crufts and stuff, but even that, I've probably been in the sport maybe 8-9 years. I'm not 100% sure, but there's been a lot of improvement and a lot of progress just in that time, isn't it? So I think we're going the right way.
Yeah, it is going the right way. Really, I'm looking forward to seeing what courses are like this year. You know, we talked a lot about course design over winter. A lot of people came and I love the lines things, which we are in the process of putting together and actually putting them out online. So I'm looking forward to seeing people's courses and seeing what kind of stuff they're going to chuck out this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think the more the people are willing to put out the free content, I think that shows the commitment to the fact that everyone wants to, well, not everyone, but I mean, you know, there's definitely a push for these types of things. So hopefully you'll see that in the main shows. And I mean, I know we're not talking about Crufts here, but at the same time, it's what's going to lead to Crufts next year, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So let's see. Yeah, we're trying to do it. We want to do it for free because it's going to affect everyone, and we want the safety. The most important thing we're going on about Love Lines was the safety, and we want it safe for the dogs to be able to go out there, run the courses, have fun, be safe, and obviously the actual design of them is going to be very much person dependent. But I want to just have safe courses at the very least, and then hopefully some will be really fun as well.
That's what I was going to say. The minimal request is safe lines for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I might not like the course, and like there are definitely certain types of courses that I prefer, but safe lines onto the contact. Safe lines is the main thing for me. I think at least then you're not so panicking about handling that side of things, and you can kind of worry about the course then. You know? So it is that time of the week again. Everyone waits for it. It's a good question this week, and actually one I think people will find useful. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Agility question of the week. This week, the big question revolves around, ready?
I'm ready.
Sandbags. So what are the best sandbags for safety? Clips or Velcro, triangle or round, or are pegged straps better for outside? What's your opinion?
Definitely not the peg straps. I hate the peg straps.
I'm not a fan of them myself.
Hate them. Sandbags, I love the sandbags. Obviously, I hate sandbags because I hate moving them around. They're just such a pain in the ass, but they're safe, definitely safest for the dogs. And you know, having enough, it should be covered. The tunnel should be covered with sandbags. It should be solid. And people go, oh, it's not. It's like hitting a solid wall. No, it's bloody not. It's still got some give. It's not. You go and punch the side of a tunnel with a sandbag, and you go and punch a brick wall. I can tell you which one's going to hurt more. So as many sandbags as possible. The best type, I don't know. There's so many good ones out there. We use Gallican. They do the corner ones as well, so they've got a double on one side and a single on the other, which makes it nice if you've got a curve. Not that we curve ours very much anyway, but I like Gallican sandbags. They're sturdy, they're Velcro, and they easy got handles, easy to carry. They're my favourite, but I'm sure there's loads of other really good brands of sandbags out there. I don't really like I used to have the triangle ones. They were okay, but then they were quite a thin strap on top, which I didn't like because it pushed the tunnel down. So my favourite are they round Gallican bags? I don't know. They're sort of triangle that way, aren't they?
Yeah, I know. I don't know what I'd call them, but I know what you mean.
No. But yeah, they fit the tunnels really nicely. But there are other also really good brands out there that I'm sure people will tell me, oh, you're not talking about those ones. But the Gallicans are the ones I use, so that's what I know about.
And just going back to what you said, because it drives me insane when people say you shouldn't have so many ton bags because it would make it too hard. The dogs run on the floor. The floor is very, very hard, and it's safer for them. Imagine trying to make them run an agility course on a foam pad. It would be.
Well, that's what I say. Imagine trying to run up the wall of a bouncy castle. You can fall over. And then imagine trying to run up a wall. Well, obviously rough wall, but you know, you can sort of run on the side of a wall that's a bit curved and it's solid. You're going to be able to run it. You run on a bouncy castle, you're going to fall over. So of course it needs to be bloody solid. Anyone that says it's too many sandbags is too solid is an idiot.
Yeah, I mean,
you can leave that in because I want them to hear it.
Sense. I mean, how are they saying it's too hard? The floor is hard. The floor hasn't got any give, and everyone's happy with their dogs to run on the floor. So what's the problem?
Exactly. And I don't know if you know, but I am an osteopath, and you know I've got some qualifications.
I did know.
And it's, you know, dogs have their own shock absorption, same as people do. We've got joints, we've got muscles. They can, you know, they can shock absorb as they hit something hard. They're not going to hit it with straight legs. It's just stupid. It drives me crazy when people say that. I want my dogs to go in every tunnel knowing it's going to be the same, not thinking, am I going to fall on this one? Stupid.
Yeah, they need that consistency of knowing it's not going to move, not wondering how much is it going to move every single time.
And that is the problem in UK, because they all move differently. It drives me mad. And then people go, oh, it's too solid, it's like hitting a brick wall. I mean, I'm sorry, but that is pure stupidity. It's not hitting a brick wall. I've punched a sandbag really hard, and I don't punch the brick wall because I know it's going to hurt. It doesn't hurt when you hit a sandbag. Plus, they've got legs, they've got shoulders, they've got elbows, they've got hocks, they've got joints to sponge into it. They can, if they know it's going to be hard, they will adjust as they're going in. If they don't know it's going to be hard, if they know it might be soft, they'll go in slower and they'll go more cautiously, or they'll go in fast and just fall over. It drives me mad when people say this shit.
Yeah, I think it's way more dangerous if there is more give rather than if it's a solid surface for them to run on like the floor. That's essentially it for me.
Way more dangerous.
Right. That's it for us this week. So as always, say goodbye, David.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.